This presentation is brought to you by Arizona State University's Julianne Wrigley Global Institute of Sustainability and a generous investment by Julianne Wrigley.
My third lesson of life and goal for all of you to think about if you are involved in research, or even if you're a citizen scientist or a traveler of some kind, is to be thinking about different stakeholders to solve conservation issues. I grew up in an era where everybody thought big governments were going to save forests, and we all know now that was pretty unsuccessful. So over my career, I've suddenly realized that reaching out to different audiences has been much better in terms of achieving the goals. So right now I'm working with priests in Ethiopia. Everyone says, oh, surely science and religion don't go together, but they actually do. And in this case, I've been hosting workshops for all of the Ethiopian Orthodox priests who are indeed the stewards of the last bits of forest in Ethiopia, which I'll show you in a minute. Again, I'm a little outnumbered, but the good news is these priests have never had an ecology workshop. They've certainly never had a computer that they could look up distance and distributions of trees in their own country. So together we have realized that we need to save the last native trees in this very important country. This photo, sad to say, are the last remaining trees in Ethiopia. You can probably barely see the little green dots, which are called church forests, because in the middle of each of those tiny green dots is a church. And of course, surrounding those green dots is subsistence agriculture. And if we get a little closer, you'll see the church in the middle, and you'll realize that the Ethiopian Orthodox Church has for thousands of years had a mission to save all of God's creatures, hence the churchyard. And as a conservation biologist, my mission is to save biodiversity. So in a lot of ways, church and science do go together in this conservation mission. And once I was able to explain to the priests about the real value of their trees and the fact that not too many trees exist outside of the church forest, they came up with the solution, not me. And they are now building stone conservation walls around their church forests. They get the stones from the farmers, who are thrilled to remove them from the fields, and they build the walls a little bit further away from the actual forest so they can replace new native species, and they keep the cattle and goats away from eating the seedlings and all of the understory, and they give the local people a sense of a boundary. So today in Ethiopia, if you go there, you will be lucky to see these amazing conservation walls, and the people are so proud of them. And right now we are over halfway in a goal to save the 40 highest biodiversity forests in Ethiopia. Believe it or not, we only need $200,000 to complete our goal. Conservation in a country like Ethiopia is so inexpensive compared to Brazil or North America or Mexico, but that amount of money will allow us to put walls up around these 40 churches. We're over 20 towards our goal, but we're excited to achieve that goal in the next couple of years through my small foundation called the Tree Foundation. Here's another example of a diverse stakeholder involved in conservation. This is related to ASU, one of your Thunderbird School, your new business school alliance, had the vision and foresight as a corporate person to be philanthropic and save an entire rainforest in Malaysia. So on Penang Hill, there's now an eco park called the Habitat, which is giving millions of people an education about rainforests. And we've put canopy walkways there and canopy education up there. And the next step in this progress will be hopefully creating a UNESCO World Heritage area for the forests that extend beyond the park. So again, as a scientist, I was used to writing grants and rewriting grants, but having some kind of corporate philanthropy allowed the check to get written and the job to get done. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience to create canopy research over in Malaysia.
This presentation is brought to you by Arizona State University's Julianne Wrigley Global Institute of Sustainability. for educational and non commercial use only.